welcome to today's video. It is Tuesday the 27th of January. Even though I've written that like a million times today, I still need to look at my phone to double check. I am sure that you're all wondering where we're at with the whole IVF thing, whether we will be going ahead or not. It's still not 100%, but I'm fairly certain that we are going to go ahead with the IVF this cycle. The thought of not going ahead with this round was just honestly like too hard to even comprehend. Like when I sat down and really thought about it and had convinced myself that we couldn't do it, I was in tears for like 5 hours. So I sort of, once I cleared my head and sat down and thought about it, I knew like I just had to find a way to make this work. Like if I had to cancel, I'd probably be acting that way for like a whole month. I would have just been so upset and so depressed, and I just really didn't want to cope with that. And I felt sorry for Ryan, like he would have had to cope with that, which yeah, wouldn't have been very nice for him. And also the fact that, you know, like I'd kind of already started the first round because I'd been on the pill for 2 weeks, and then I finished it on Saturday, so now I'm going to obviously expect to start to have a bleed on probably Friday, I think it is. So, you know, like if we weren't going to do IVF, it's like I've just screwed up a cycle for no reason. And, you know, you guys saw how crappy I felt for the first week on the pills, so I would have felt like I did that and went through that for no reason, which at the end of the day isn't a bad thing. Like I'm going to go through a lot worse, but at the same time, like my cycles were actually regular, so now if I wasn't going to be doing IVF, I sort of made my cycles really weird again, which is not ideal. So at the moment we're definitely, I mean it's going to be very, very tight, like really tight, but we have enough to cover the cost of the IVF and the ICSI, which we're going to have to pay on Thursday. So we have enough to cover that. We don't have enough to look at freezing any embryos that we get at this stage. That alone is going to cost about $1,700, and you don't get any rebates or anything back from Medicare for any of that, whereas we will get rebates back, not anytime soon, it'll probably be like in a couple of months. We'll get rebates from the first round for the IVF round, so that makes it a little bit better because you know you're going to be getting like about $800 or so of it back, so it makes it a little bit easier to cope with. So at this stage, depending, I mean we don't even know if we're going to have any embryos to freeze, which is the hardest thing. I think if I just knew, like if I could just have a magic 8-ball and know what was going to happen, this whole situation would be a lot easier, but unfortunately that doesn't exist. So I've kind of just have to go with it, and we'll assess at the time, you know, whether we have good quality embryos or not, and whether we are able to do something to be able to afford to freeze them, whether it's I don't know, I really don't know, but you know, we've got a couple of weeks to deal with that, and by then Ryan will be having some income coming in, so we might be able to, you know, cut some things here and there, and we might just be able to scrape in with that, maybe. I don't really see it happening, but I don't know. It would be really, really disappointing if we couldn't freeze quality embryos that we had. You know, like if we had poor quality embryos, like it wouldn't be such a bad thing because you're like, well, they're probably not going to survive the freezing and the thawing process anyway. But if we had good quality embryos sitting there, I would have to find a way to freeze them. Like the thought of throwing out good quality embryos, no, I don't think I could do that. Which makes me think on the flip side that perhaps we shouldn't do this cycle, because if we can't afford to freeze them, like honestly it's just like all this has been going around in my head, and what it came down to is I feel like I have to do it. Like I don't know, something is telling me I have to do it, whether it's a gut feeling, I don't know, whether it's just me being, you know, too emotionally involved in the whole process, I'm not really sure, but I just felt like I had to do it. So that's why we are going ahead with it. Like I said, things are going to be really, really tight, so that should be really interesting, but you know, at the end of the day, we'll just make it work. you know, we always do. One thing that I wasn't really sure whether or not I should bring up on here, just because it's a really sensitive topic, is the fact that I did make a GoFundMe page. I had a friend that suggested it, and at first I was like, yeah, no, not gonna happen. I've seen these pages around. I've donated to them as well, for charities or people in need. So I definitely knew what they were about, but I didn't feel, I don't know, I just didn't want to be a charity, if that makes sense. I'm a person that's normally, like, I like to do things by myself. I don't like to ask for help unless I really need it. And so it was a really hard decision, but in the end I thought, I'll just do it. So I made a page, and then I was sort of hit with the reality of, okay, I've made this page now, but do I want people to see it? Do I want to share it? And that was probably the hardest part. I have a lot of friends and family, like I said, that don't really know what's going on. Like, they might know a little bit about it, or they might not even at all know anything about it. So I didn't really want the first they heard of anything to be like this thing on Facebook that's come up that, oh, you should give me money for this type thing, because I think that would really hurt a lot of people. They might be like, oh, well, why didn't you talk to me about this, and that sort of thing. And I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, and I guess I just don't want any negative repercussions from this. Like, I feel like a lot of people would definitely be positive. I feel like I've got so many family and friends that would be more than happy and really wanting to help out as much as they can. But then on the flip side, you've always got people that might interpret things a little bit differently. Like the old saying that, like, money and friendship and stuff doesn't really mix and that sort of thing, and I don't really want to rub anyone the wrong way. So it makes the decision really hard in, should I share it, should I not? In the end, I haven't shared it on my Facebook page. I've shared it with just a select few people. I sort of just shared it with my close group of girlfriends purely to ask their opinion on whether or not I should post it publicly, and they were really helpful. They sort of had the same opinions as me, that I should be really careful about who I show and that sort of thing, because obviously it is something that's really, really personal. And I was just really amazed that one of my friends, like, I didn't intend for her to look at this page to donate. I really just wanted her to say, what do you think about this? Should I publish it? That sort of thing. But she made a small donation, and it honestly, it meant so much, because this is my best friend who her husband is back at university studying. She's on maternity leave looking after their little one, and I know that money's tight for them. It's difficult when you've kind of living off one income. So for her to donate was just, like, honestly, it just made me cry, which, it was not her intentions, I'm sure, but, like, it really made me know that people care about me and that sort of thing, which was really, really lovely. She was also telling me that at her church they do have, like, a prayer meeting, and she had her church praying for us, which again just made me burst out crying. We aren't overly religious, Ryan and I, but just the fact that someone was thinking about us, and just the fact that she was thinking of us, and that so many other people were thinking of us, really made me feel really good. I'm starting to get emotional now, which is not cool. That on top of the way I was already feeling about, like, maybe having to cancel IVF, and then she told me that, and then she donated. I was just like, I was in tears. Like, it was a really emotional day. I've also, like, had a chat to my parents about the situation that we're in at the moment as well, and my mum got on there and donated some money as well, which again made me start crying. It really just reinforced, like, how much people care about us and that sort of thing, which did make me think that, if I was to share it with family and friends, that there would be quite a good response. But I'm just not sure if I'm ready for that. I don't know, what do you guys think? Like, what is your opinion on that? I wasn't even sure if I should post it on here or not, just because that is not what this channel is about. This channel isn't about charity or me making money or anything like that. It's about, you know, putting myself out there for other women that might be in the same circumstances, and for them knowing, like, these are the realistic struggles of IVF. And you know, a lot of the time it does come down to, for couples, whether or not they can afford to keep going and that sort of thing. And you know, we're facing those struggles like right from the start. So I can't imagine women that have gone through this process for years without a successful pregnancy, how they must feel in this whole process. Because it's so emotionally draining. Like, I haven't even really delved deep into this process yet, and already, like, I've had days where I've been in tears and, you know, just downright depressed. Yeah, and I feel like I've still got so much further to go that really makes you realize just what, you know, a lot of women go through. And this is why I wanted to make this channel, so that you could all see that this is normal, this is what happens when you go through IVF, and for women that are going through this to know that everything that you're feeling is normal and you're not alone in this, even though sometimes you might feel alone. Like, I have days where I feel really alone, yet then, you know, just as I was feeling so alone, I posted that and had such good responses from my best friend and from my family, that it really just reinforces that even though you might feel like you're completely alone in this, you're not, and that you've got people that care about you. And even though they've not gone through it themselves, you know, they're never going to completely understand, but you know, they're there for you if you need them. And if you don't have someone like that in your life, then you've got me, you've got YouTube, you've got so many other people there to support you. And I think that's what it's all about, and that's what this channel is about for me. So that's why I was a bit hesitant about publishing the link to my GoFundMe account, because I don't want to deter from what this channel is about, and I don't want people to think, oh, she just wants to make money, or that's that type of thing, and not want to watch my videos or not want to follow me anymore, because that's not what I'm about. So, you know, like, I'm going to post the link below. There's absolutely no expectation that you need to donate. If you want to, of course, you're more than welcome to, and it would be muchly appreciated. But it's certainly not expected at all. Like, honestly, you don't even have to click on the link, it's fine. But it's just there for anyone that's interested, or, you know, might want to learn more about GoFundMe or anything like that. You know, if you want to share this video, or if you think other people might be interested in that sort of thing, by all means you can share it. But like I said, like, that is not what my channel or this video is about. Yeah, now I feel awkward. So yeah, that's where I'm going to end this week's video. If you have any questions, leave them below. I'm really happy to answer them. I'll be going to the fertility specialist on Thursday to pick up all my drugs and learn how to do everything then. So definitely stay posted for Thursday's video, because that's going to be quite interesting. I'll have everything, all my drugs and everything to show you guys. So I'll see you then. Bye!